we didn't have a band name for many years. Probably like we went 3 years without a band name.
This is true.
We were so desperate for band names at certain points. We would call our friends and we would say, in 5 seconds, name your top 3 favorite words that come to your mind. And that didn't really help. And because people would just freeze and say like snake or something.
Or bulldozer. Or
it wasn't cool.
The weirdest things.
Like we weren't going to be snake bulldozer.
Yeah, not anytime soon at least.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the All Music Matters in That podcast. I'm your host, Brian. And today we'll have some special guests and some former Pittsburgh Yinzers here as well. We got the boys from Lysandra. How y'all doing today?
Good.
Doing well.
How are you?
Not too bad. In the field of the audience, we got Dom, and then we got Addie.
That's me.
Addie right there. Good. All right. But how you boys been? What's new?
Just kind of maintaining the status quo right now. I mean, like, we definitely, in terms of the band, are pushing ourselves as much as we can. But in terms of daily life, really just kind of getting through it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just getting ready for a couple shows we have. We had a lot of time off in the summer, but we got some like local shows coming up and then filling our time with a lot of writing right now. So
yeah, I'd say writing is the majority of where our time has been sunk in.
That's good. I guess, have you guys been born and raised in Pittsburgh?
Yes,
pretty much.
Yeah, we're from Moon. We knew each other in high school.
Mm-hmm.
But we kind of started hanging out a little bit after we graduated high school. But yeah, I mean, Moon, Coriopolis. I live in the South Hills, Dormont area now. But yeah, Pittsburgh, yeah, for sure.
Represent. That's what
Absolutely.
I say. That's right. All right.
Hell yeah.
So I guess maybe we could jump into that. I guess you want to give a quick history about Lysandra, and I guess it seemed like it was directly after you guys graduated. You guys formed this group?
Not really, no. It took some time for us to, because like we knew it was more or less like we knew of each other, and like we like knew that like we were both into music, but we didn't know quite the extent of it for each other. So that the origin of it, truthfully, is like I used to play in a hard rock band. Dom was doing his audio engineering thing, which he still does, which is great for him. But the crux of it was it wasn't even me. It was one of my other band members had asked him to help us record our EP at the time. And the more we were in the same room, the more we were chatting, the more we realized, oh, we actually have a lot more like bands and interests in common than we initially thought. And so you could say like you had the one song that you want, or no, it was a cover.
Yeah, you wanted to do the cover.
Yeah, we were looking to try and see, like, because I already had contact with the guy. I'm like, hey, do you want to help me record this metal cover? I think it'd be pretty sick.
Yeah. And
from there, like, he helped me do that. He learned some more mixing like tools of the trade, like getting like used to like screaming vocals and things like that. And honestly, the rest is history.
Yeah, I think when we were first recording together, I started showing him some just demos and just kind of random stuff I was writing just on my computer. And I think he didn't really like say much about it at first other than like, that's cool. And then he started just coming back with vocal ideas on top of it at one point, which was just kind of how everything got started. And then that was a little bit before COVID. And then during COVID, we got more serious about it. And then it didn't really come to fruition with like a whole band until a little bit after that, like probably like 2022-ish.
Yeah.
Okay. I do have questions about COVID just a little bit here too, but actually, so I guess, Dom, did you actually mix and master your recent works that you've done under Lysandra?
Yeah, I did for the first EP we did. Our former guitarist Jacob recorded the drums in Baltimore, and then I recorded everything else and then mixed and mastered. For the album, we recorded drums with Evan Yester in Pittsburgh, and then same thing. I recorded and mixed and mastered everything.
That's good. Let's go round of applause for Dom right there. Good job, boy.
Woo!
Thanks.
Couldn't do it without him, literally. Just
was
like
not easy.
no, but great learning.
Actually, Eddie, pat him on the back. Give a nice pat on the back.
Thanks, thanks, man.
You did good, bud.
Oh, thanks.
You did good.
Good job. I guess just real quick, who's Lysandra? Was this meant to be our Game of Thrones sort of fantasy character we're thinking of?
That's actually a really good question because we didn't have a band name for many years. Probably like we went 3 years without a band name.
This is true.
We were so desperate for band names at certain points. We would call our friends and we would say, in 5 seconds, name your top 3 favorite words that come to your mind. And that didn't really help. And because people would just freeze and say like snake or something.
Or bulldozer. Or
yeah,
like,
it wasn't cool.
It's the weirdest things.
Like we were going to be snake bulldozer.
Yeah,
but,
not anytime soon at least.
Maybe
an EP, but
and then we were like the first EP, I think we might have been almost done recording it and we still don't have a name. And then he just sent like with no context in our group chat, he just said Lysandra ?
Because this had been the running gag for a bit. It's not a gag. We're desperately trying to figure out a name, but that became like the running thing that we were doing was just like word ? And like we would all hopefully agree on some part of it or most of it. And this Lysandra was the first one that was unanimously like, yeah, that works. That actually makes sense.
No one asked any questions too.
Yeah, which was unheard of.
Yeah.
But to answer the other part of it, like the origin, you were honestly like kind of close with the Game of Thrones thing, like you were saying, like not quite like TV shows, but if you like video games, the God of War series has a reference to a character named Lysandra. She is Kratos, the main character's first wife. So that made sense to me in terms of the context of like how like aggressive and also powerful, bombastic, like this genre of music can be. I think having a name that coincides with those principles, like it seemed to work in my head and clearly worked for their takes as well. Like I'm just so happy that we landed on something in the end.
Yeah.
I would say this is going to be a scenario where somebody brutally murders us in a cold rage, blind rage by Ares, the God of War.
I haven't been called upon yet, and I haven't felt the need to. So we'll
see.
We'll keep it in the back pocket for now. But
sounds like a cool concept idea, actually. So, as soon as you were saying, like we just asked friends to put 3 words down that came to mind. It's almost like shit, cock, fuck, and that's right.
Yeah, that's basically what would happen. Well, if you call a guy, that's what happens.
Yeah.
If you call a woman, then Kristen said chrysanthemum.
Yeah, we got the word chrysanthemum at one point, and that was without hesitation too. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a cool word, but we were still getting nowhere with it.
Yeah, I don't recommend that technique if you it really didn't help.
I was either that, or you were a little drunk at the time, or a little high.
Not even.
Like
no,
there probably were.
They probably were.
Probably the people that we called were.
Oh well, we weren't at least, but them. Yeah, there's strong possibilities.
Yeah,
I wouldn't put it past anyone.
Yeah.
All right, a great choice right there, nonetheless, there, Addy. All right, but I guess let's get to know more about the history of you guys in general. So, I guess Addy, if you just want to go first, I guess tell the audience your backstory of how you became a musician, how we got to this point.
Absolutely. So, in general, I mean, I've always had an affinity for music, and before I really realized it, I always gravitated to the singers in the songs. I knew that that was like somewhere deep down, like I knew that that was something that like you could still learn without really having any like prerequisite like tools or whatever that you need to invest in. You don't have to like necessarily commit yourself to a certain idealistic lifestyle just to fulfill like learning this instrument. You could just be a vocalist or a singer or whatever. And as I was growing up and being surrounded by all sorts of different walks of life and music and just culture and everything, it seemed to be that like that just seemed like the natural progression was just like to learn how to sing, and then after listening to metal to learn how to scream. I had some experience in theater in high school, and I went a very non-traditional theater kid route and decided to be in a metal band instead. It's funny, I was having a conversation about this with my one buddy recently about this exact topic. It's like you can usually tell who the theater kids are, but in this instance, I guess not. But that I mean that about sums it up for me. Just because like most of my experience with music has been through like playing like different bands. Like I mentioned, I was in a hard rock band before. That was like my project like right out of high school, and then after that was when we started talking, Dom and I, and figured out Lysandra together. So I feel much more at home with this genre, and I feel really grateful for having this opportunity to do like cool things such as this as well. You know, the music is very fulfilling, the genre is very fulfilling. I'm super happy to do it. But what about you, Dom?
Yeah, I mean, I did band in high school, like marching band and concert band and stuff. I played trumpet, and then I think I started playing guitar when I was 10 or 12 or somewhere in that area. Immediately got into like the heavier stuff of like Avenged Sevenfold, Periphery was kind of like the stuff I gravitated towards like at the beginning of learning guitar. So that's what I was kind of starting with. Not that I could play that stuff right away, but I was trying to. So, and then I wanted to do music after I graduated high school. And so I studied audio engineering at Capital University for a year. It was a really expensive school, so I transferred to Pitt to finish a more general music degree. And then I think it was at that time, because I was in the middle of that during COVID, and then we started hanging out more, and then while I was at Pitt, I joined a couple other bands. I started playing out more, getting more comfortable. I didn't actually perform any guitar on a live stage until our first show.
Really?
That was the first time I ever played guitar.
I'm actually a little shocked by
yeah, because I didn't know
that.
Because in college I was always playing bass or trumpet.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, maybe I was thinking of bass then.
I did play bass through college and different stuff. But
yeah, now that he's talking about school, I guess I should also clarify. I have no real like formal training with like singing or like any sort of stuff. There was a moment where I had considered going that route, like getting like a professional sort of thing, whatever, like if it's through like traditional schooling, like college or whatever. But yeah, besides high school and like learning my techniques that I got in theater, which have stuck with me this long, like this long, and I still remember very vividly a lot of details about, you know, breath support, diaphragm, like all that.
Yeah, and like control. When you had to learn how to do witchy screams for choir.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
My high school.
Thank God they taught you that.
My high school theater director was great at witchy screams.
Oh yeah,
thankfully, yeah.
Really into Lorna Shore.
No, but yeah, that would be interesting though.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I was bad to tell you were gonna do like the Rob Halford or Bruce Dickinson sort of vocal ranges before you knew it. If you actually did want to take that route and then still play in a metal band afterwards.
I mean, yeah, it just, I think more than anything, it just felt like the pieces sort of fell together, and like this is where I ended up. So, like I said earlier, I'm just happy to be doing it. Truthfully.
Mm.
I guess Dom, how'd you stay in touch with Addie? I guess because it sounded like you guys started knowing each other near the end of graduation there, and then you went off to Capital, which is in Ohio, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I guess like the crux of it is that like we were friends first. I think like everything was just hanging out to begin with, and then like even when we like now when we practice or do anything creative, there's like half the time is serious, and then the second half of it is like, okay, let's go.
We are both responsible for each other, and that's like we are both equally capable of getting derailed. Like it does not fall on one person or the other. I like as soon as like a phone comes out and I'm like, I gotta show you this meme, like someone has to be like, stop, like cut it out. Like it happens more often than I like to admit.
Well, yeah, a lot. And then he shows me every video game I've ever played.
This is true,
except for Pokemon. I grew up with Pokemon, but everything I've played other than that has
Pokemon
been
and Mario Kart.
For. Yeah,
but yeah,
he got me into Zelda, which is huge.
Like God of War.
I think I
haven't played God of War yet. I really should though.
God of War's gotta be next.
Since it created the name of our band.
Yeah,
I still don't really get the reference.
That's what I said is all you need to know. That's her name.
But it's definitely in my wheelhouse, just like in terms of the vibes and the aesthetic of it. That is the type of game I like.
Listen, if Lorna Shore can name their band after an obscure Batman character, I can name mine after an obscure God of War character. I think I can get away with that just as well.
True.
I actually do remember seeing that, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's where the name came from."
Yeah, like
that kind of blew my mind.
I would have never guessed. I had no idea at that point.
But that's an example of a band name that's just so good, you don't ever like think twice about it. It just rolls off the tongue. It's just like Lorna Shore. It's like what I never even thought about it.
Shadow of Intent is
Halo, right?
Is a Halo reference. Yeah. So it's all full circle.
Yeah.
It really is.
Oh, that explains a lot right there. So, but I guess speaking of some of the bands we just referenced, I guess the influences like Shadow of Intent, and
yes,
at times I was thinking Counterparts, but maybe not the same vocal source style. But
we like Counterparts.
Yeah.
I just saw them last year. To come to think of it, but I guess in terms of influences, who did you guys look up to when you were first starting out on your journey with Lysandra?
I think between most of the members, the most common one is probably like Periphery. Although not everyone in the band loves Periphery, but like Periphery adjacent things. Like our drummer Charlie is like just in love with Meshuggah, which you can totally hear like when he plays.
There's a lot of overlap with like, even if it's not like specific bands, there is a lot of like, even if those bands like Periphery is very obviously inspired by Meshuggah. Like there's a lot of like the Venn diagram is there for a lot of the groups that we like. But yeah, the big one I always mention like he said Periphery, but then like other prog metal sources, like would you say like because I can name like my vocal influences, but you know, your like Era, Veil of Maya, probably, right? Like a couple other ones. Like really anything that sort of has a vibe that I also vibe with, whether or not it's metal. Like I'm a huge fan of electronic music, and people don't actually seem to know that about me. It really is like a big passion of mine. It's just not something that I like went down a route of necessarily. So I just like the vibes and atmosphere of metal too much to veer one way or the other. But for the actual, like my personal influences definitely lie more in sort of like the deathcore area. Bendor, Shadow of Intent, absolutely. There was a long time where I wished I could sound like him, and he's the one that convinced me. He's like, you don't need to sound like anyone. Like you're doing your thing, and it's doing great so far. So that is definitely one. I mean, I feel like Dickie Allen is a pretty good like person to mention. There's also
Suicide Silence.
Yeah, Suicide Silence. Mitch Lucker, absolutely, R.I.P. And Adam Warren from Oceano. I've seen Oceano play several times, and they kick ass every single time.
Lamb of God.
Lamb of God, Randy Blythe. Yeah, there was those albums from Lamb of God are the ones that sort of got me into the genre in the first place. So I'm forever grateful for those guys. That's a band that, like, I don't know if you really knew of them like going into this thing, but I definitely have sort of like pushed this this sound onto my band member, like whether it's like, hey, go listen to this, or whether it's like, we should do more of like a certain like thing like this. Lamb of God is the one that tends to come up the most when it's like, we should try, like, that riff in the Ashes of the Wake, or like, this album, like how this has certain vibe to it, like comes back to a lot of that actually. And then I've been compared to a couple people, which I think the one that comes up the most often is the guy from Acacia Strain. I can't remember his name.
Oh yeah.
But Acacia Strain, I've heard comparisons to for our
Vincent.
sound in general.
I think it's Vincent Bennett. Vincent Bennett.
Okay, yeah. I knew it was like not like an uncommon name, but you know what I mean. Like, it was definitely like, it's not Ben. That's all I know about that.
I got it back of my head. Knock it in the front.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway. I've heard that before. Someone compared our band to like Gojira, like a more like modern sounding like Gojira, which I appreciated. I thought that was sick. And yeah, really, it's like, especially when it comes to like the singing parts, I derive a lot of inspiration from all the different like genres that I listen to. So whether it's deathcore, or whether it's electronic, whether it's like even like pop, indie music, all across the board, like I'm pulling all sorts of influences.
Are you guys mainly a 3-piece group, or do you have a fourth member you're trying to
We have
join?
5 members actually.
Yeah. So it's Charlie Kiesling on drums, our friend Connor Moran, who we also went to high school with, he's our bassist, and we've had a couple different second guitarists, because our first, Jacob Reed, he moved to Baltimore, unfortunately.
Well, he's from Baltimore.
He's from Baltimore,
but
yeah.
he was in school at the time, and that's how we got to know him. And so it was very very bittersweet seeing him go, because obviously you got to go back home. Like, I don't blame you, dude, but
he still tours with a band called Frog Legs, who are really, really good. Very different.
It's a folk punk band.
Folk punk. So his range is crazy. But after that, we were really lucky to have Matt Elias, who's a really excellent guitarist in the Pittsburgh area. He plays with a band called Bonnie and the Mere Mortals. So he played with us for a little bit, but then he had to start touring again. And now we have Mitch Pugh on guitar, who is excellent. So we've been lucky enough to have me and then actually good guitarist all 3 times.
I probably did see the picture on Spotify when I was checking you guys out. They gave me a follow there.
Yeah,
that's honestly probably the best photo of us, like, in general. So I feel like that was like, hey, let's toss this up until we get a photo of the 5 of us, which is harder than you might think.
Yeah, we always forget.
Like, it's like forgetting, and then also just like,
it's not.
I don't even know. Like, just trying to get all 5 of us to like do anything that like isn't like, all right.
It's easy to get us to practice.
Yeah,
but it's not
like
easy
we love
to get us.
We love practicing, but it's like, hey, go line up in front of a brick wall for like 10 just to get a photo. Like it just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Like it just straight up doesn't. But
The ever elusive band photo.
it will happen someday. I
Yeah.
promise you. Mark my words.
I mean, it's like just go stand at the wall there for 30 seconds. I'll pay each of you $20.
That's
We'll
all
do it that way.
I swear to God, that's all I need to do. And
Mom, come out, take my photo.
yeah, get the iPhone out. Let's get this shit ready.
All right. But I did check out a couple of your songs there too on Spotify. Well, I saw The Birds Don't Sing Like They Used to, which was your album that recently came out.
That's right.
Bathed in Light was your EP. And then there's a bunch of singles on there with Edward Scissor Balls.
Yeah. I knew
Iron
this was
Giant
gonna
and
come up.
Guns.
Yeah.
So, I mean, actually, when I saw that too, it reminded me of how Devil Wears Prada, and maybe there was a couple other deathcore bands where they would do like the funny name. It was still that sort of deathcore vibe you would always get, but it was always a
Yeah.
funny title.
Yeah, like still a serious song, but not so serious on the surface.
Who
Yeah.
speaks Spanish? Colon quesadilla? Is what I mean? So, all right. I guess talk about your album first. The Birds Don't Sing Like They Used to. So, it looked like you kind of incorporate some of the singles that you had previously released. So,
Mhm.
tell the audience about that album and what's it all about. Is there a concept?
Kinda. I mean, lyrically, in general, a lot of the songs tend to focus on the sort of like misguided nature of the world. There's a lot of like injustice that happens. There's a lot of things that I wouldn't say get overlooked, but they are like pressing issues that seem to just be continuously ignored. And I mean, avoiding the conversation is just adding like fuel to the fire, but like it ends up just being this like for the album itself, it ends up being like a huge collection of just things that we see in the world that just like bother us or like feel like need addressed in some way or another. And there's just a lot that can be told through those stories, whether or not they are stories like of like real incidents or whether they're based on like some fictional story that ties in with like a lyrical idea that we have. The Birds Don't Sing Like They Used to is a title that Dom came up with because it kind of speaks for itself. Like the nature of everything around us is disrupting this like natural flow. And honestly, quite literally too, there's significantly less birds in nature than we've had like when we were growing up. So like there is a lot to be said about the state of things and the state of like how we perceive things as people and as ourselves as individuals. So that ultimately ties into like what the theming of that album is.
Yeah. To pick one song out, Iron Giant has probably my favorite lyrics in the whole album. Which it's all him. He's all the lyrics. I try to contribute and then I'm like, this sucks. And then he fixes it usually. But the Iron Giant is about, to put it simply, it's about roadkill. And it's like basically like from the perspective of small animals who see a car as being a giant metal monster, essentially.
Mhm.
And it's like you were saying, just like something that really bothers me and us. And it seems like the world treats this issue as just too casually, for us to be okay with. So it's just like, I think that those lyrics are really, I really like them.
It was a thing that came out from like, for me, it was like personally, like it was frustration from seeing like that, like just like anytime you're like driving on the road, you see like a dead animal, like you just want to look away because it's gross. And like, I mean, it sucks, but like the more you think about it, it really is just like we're the ones paving over their world to begin with. And it's just another like, oh, there's another deer that got hit or whatever. But like, I don't know, like we weren't here, like put here to be creating these giant metal death machines that like destroy these like ecosystems. Like it's I think it was a topic that started as like I just don't like this, into like looking at it like, I guess, more metaphorically, and also like from like different perspective, like what he said, the perspective of animals. It birthed from my disgust of like seeing a carcass into like what we know now for lyrically for the song. So prime example.
I want to say, I think he thought it was a horror story when he saw a jacked up deer that got probably run over by an 18-wheeler.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I know.
yeah, like blood on like asphalt like a canvas is displaying a crimson nightmare. Like that's the lyric that is like, if it doesn't spell it out already, yeah, it's like something happened on the road. And yeah, if it's like an 18-wheeler, like you said, like it's fucking ripping these animals apart. Like it's awful. It's disgusting. So yeah.
At the same time, I was like, how the heck did you actually hit that coon? Did you not, we're looking at the road with the high beams on? That sort of stuff?
Yeah.
It's just always there. It's been there since I was a kid. But yeah.
I guess one of the other things is like the attitude of people being like, well, they shouldn't have walked on the road. And then it's like, how the hell are they supposed to know what a road is? It's like,
yeah. That's
so that you kind of tackled that like lyrically a little bit.
a little bit, yeah.
Just
it's a little bit of everything.
lose. Yeah. So it's just, there's stuff like that. I mean, that one's like kind of half like just like half story driven, but not like a full story. It's like kind of like seeing from someone's eyes, but there's other stuff that's like more story driven.
Yeah. Then he's talking about stories. I might as well mention 906 as a song is probably our earliest song that we actually had worked on as a band. It started as a project that he had like just sitting on his computer. And I know he said that I don't normally, like, I wasn't making comments about the stuff that like he was showing me, but like I remember like thinking to myself, like whether it was out loud or not, I'm not sure, but I was thinking, I'm like, these could be real songs, man. Like you just need some vocals on there and like, I don't know, get like a real bass recorded, and like this is fantastic. Like we could absolutely get something going out of it. So 906 started as like a project that was just sitting on his computer, and then became this like story about a guy witnessing the state of society and just kind of crumbling beneath that. Like he wasn't able to handle the change in the world and all of the like just noticing like all of like the horrible shit happening like all around. That became his like descend into madness. And the line where it says like, I count the days, the same days, same clothes. I count them on my fingers. I have no room left on my hand. Like it's implied at the end of the song that he's just completely snapped, and who knows what happened after that. It's up to interpretation.
Not to go back, but
yeah.
Actually, the Iron Giant song, I bet you like it was almost like, baby, don't go into the light. That whole deal. So I want to say that.
Yeah, it's that's actually the our friend Asha from the band Heading North did the art for the single, and
all the singles actually.
I thought it was so cool the way they did it. It was like it's these two headlights in the sky, like looking down, so it kind of looks like a scene from the movie The Iron Giant, but it's more menacing because it's like car headlights. So I thought that was really cool.
Actually, I was going to ask that if that's what the song was also based off there too. Was that
yeah, it's kind of twisted because like The Iron Giant was like one of my favorite movies when I was a kid, and it's a really wholesome story actually, but in this version of it, the giant metal machine is not the good guy at all.
No, technically it wasn't supposed to be a good guy to begin with, but he
that's
hit his
true.
head too hard.
He figured it out.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're wondering if Edward Scissorballs has anything to do with Edward Scissorhands.
I would say
There's
yes,
a movie
but
called Edward Scissorhands.
Crazy, I know. We should sue.
Anyway,
yeah.
Gotta talk about that too, because I was gonna ask about that.
Of course, yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, that was, I get blamed for that name a lot. Technically Jacob said it out loud first. And then as soon as he said it, I was like, That's
Wow, that's funny.
that's
Yeah.
it's a song name.
and
And I would not. I was going to die on that hill. No
he
one
sure
else
was.
wanted to actually call it that.
Even me, I was not on board with it. It was.
Chubb, you're
it's
still drunk. That'll deal. So yeah.
it's after a certain amount of time when you're working on a demo that like this is why you shouldn't name demos. Here, word of advice: if you name your demos, they will never change the name. Like if you sit on them for too long, because this song was always Scissor Balls, no matter what. Like we could not do anything to it to change that. And it wasn't until I accepted that I'm like, you know, it is certainly an eye-catching name. Like if you were like shuffling on Spotify and like suddenly Edward Scissorballs came up, you'd probably want to hear what the hell that song is, right? So the song itself, though, it's because that was the name already. What had happened was I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take this and run with it. I had not seen the movie Edward Scissorhands. So I looked up a synopsis and briefly skimmed it as to not like spoil myself, but like, who am I kidding? I read all about it, and then I used the most vague interpretation of the plot of the story in order to tell like my own story, basically. And so what it ended up being was you're left with a lyrical concept about just being complacent with your mental health, like being complacent with like a bad state of mental health specifically. Because there's a lot of people that I've met in life that are just like actively struggling and know that they have some kind of issue, but they simply just choose not to do anything about it. They either think they don't deserve it, or they've tried and failed, or they like have like barely tried. Like they meet with like one therapist and they're like, oh, that I didn't like that. Like no therapist is going to work for me. Like it's just this very defeatist attitude that I've seen a lot of people fall into, unfortunately. And it makes me feel really strongly. That's kind of the running thing, is like anytime something makes me feel strong enough, I feel like I need to illustrate it on paper. And so the really, really dumb concept initially ended up folding like and molding itself into what it is now, which is just being more conscious about like your state of health and like taking yourself more seriously. Like it might not like encourage you to necessarily do it, but it's definitely making it apparent. It's talking about it, and you know, like these people struggle because they are choosing to, in that sense, and it's sad, but that's how it makes me feel. So I want to make something about it.
All right. At least give me a thumbs up there for definitely the band or the song name there too. So
good. I'm glad you approve. I really am.
I mean, it actually does throw back to what you saw with the old school deathcore bands that came out during the MySpace era there too. Mm-hmm. And just kind of give you a brief review. It's good to see deathcore still go strong, especially with it changing up a little bit. Mm-hmm. It seemed like you had to kind of change up a little bit because there was a lot of bands, even a good chunk in the Christian metal scene, that were doing your standard deathcore, a lot of breakdowns. Eventually afterwards, people then get a little bored because it's kind of beating a dead horse over and over again. Mm-hmm. Yours, I would say, you definitely changed it up because you infused like the metalcore elements and then some of the progressive, which I kind of took as like between the Buried in Me sort of vibes.
That's another comparison we've got. I think I was trying to think of it earlier and I just couldn't. But yeah, I've gotten Between the Buried and Me before, which is crazy because I don't really listen to them. Not because I have anything against them. I just don't like. I'm not as familiar. So when I hear that we sound like them, I'm like, oh shit. Like, all right. Like, I mean, these guys are great musicians, so I'll take it. Like, that's really cool.
I would say, especially with the way your vocal style is there, Eddie, I would say look up Mordecai from them and see if you guys could do something like that for maybe your next album.
Yeah, I guess I will. Add it to my playlist.
Mm-hmm. But to give you guys a good review, 2 thumbs up, as they would do for the movies.
Hell yeah.
I appreciate that.
We approve.
We don't intentionally make everything a movie reference. I promise that. Like, it just kind of works out that way.
Yeah.
Well, it sort of seems to be working because I guess, what was some of the other ones here? You had Godless, you had the Bait and Light EP, sorry. But I guess if you guys just want to touch on those real quick, are they also movie references or are they just random ideas that came in because you had each shit robots. So yeah.
Actually, Mirror is kind of, you kind of based the lyrics on the movie, not based on, but the movie Arrival kind of inspired that. It was that movie and
this like alien thing that you showed me.
Yeah, this like, I think it was called Oat Studios. There was like the first episode in that series. It was like kind of like Love, Death, and Robots, which is like a
Netflix.
Yeah, but right. It's like a anthology where every episode is really different. There's no repeating characters or anything.
Like Black Mirror.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, like that. And there was like a scene at the beginning of that where it was these aliens, just like this really super dystopian just like picture of just this alien kind of like, I don't know, vessel or ship that was like kind of organic looking and looked like it was like infecting the earth. And I like paused it and I showed him that and I was like, I don't know how to say this, but like I want to write a song that sounds like that looks.
Yeah.
And then that's like kind of what that came from.
And that's for Mirror. That's on the EP.
Yeah. It's the second song.
Eat Shit Robots, you would think is also a reference, but that is legitimately another case of we've made this title for this song and it stuck and we don't know what to do with it. So once again, I took the title and I ran with it. And that song is specifically about like how the state of social media and the influence of like AI on our culture. That is what that song is about specifically. But we can get into that. That's a whole nother can of worms. But the other song you mentioned, Godless is it's an independent thing, not necessarily a reference to anything. Godless is specifically about the hypocritical nature of people who like believe in, like they have this like strong sense of faith, like they are religious, but they use it as an excuse to still be terrible people. And whether or not you consider yourself like any religion, Christian, Muslim, like any of them, if you use faith to justify your shitty actions, it just doesn't sit right with me personally. Even if you're just like, you go to church every Sunday, but you like kick your dog. I like, like it's none of these things that necessarily like have anything to do with each other. Like it does not absolve you of being a bad person. You still have to work on yourself. You still have to make yourself be the better person, rather than just like assuming because I have a one-way ticket to heaven or whatever. Like if you assume that that's the case, then yeah, if you don't make yourself any better in the lives of other people, then it's like what the hell are you doing? Like don't waste my time. Is like that energy is what's funneled into Godless. Is in the title itself becomes a misnomer because of that. So in a way, it's like the people that devote themselves, they are losing what it is to be a good person, be kind to your neighbor. All of these mannerisms and actions that are taught to you, those things are the things that get lost on them whenever you just choose to just be shitty anyways. Like, yeah, it just didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that too. And he showed through it a little TV show reference. I don't know if you ever saw Spawn. And there was a viola, and he said like, but it's not what the hell do I want? It's what does hell want to do with you? So
it's a good line.
So that would definitely would have been a good fit, but you might have to do a remix at some point. So.
Yeah, throw it in there.
Honestly, never say never. Like I do like the idea of Spawn. Like in general, I need to like read a little bit more about him because I learned more about Spawn through the Mortal Kombat games than I did like ever like in my passing of like knowledge of it. And I was just like, this guy's really fucking cool. Like I should actually like look more into it. And that's how I like learned a little bit more about it. But yeah, you saying that makes it more interesting. I feel like I should dive into it. I should see what that's all about.
Should have done a little bit more research.
Yeah.
So
we'll get there.
That's all right. I actually did think of two concept ideas you would probably roll with about the next one. But one of them should be like something like cartoon nostalgia or something like that. something kind of make you feel like you're young again, that sort of stuff.
Yeah. I have actually like gone back and forth on like how I would utilize this idea. I vaguely remember feeling this feeling of like the nature of getting old and thinking that the things that are not that old are becoming like retro or whatever it is. Like people don't think of it's a complicated point in like our lives specifically, because like Gen Z is like not that old, but like they kind of are technically. So like you have like the Nintendo Wii, which people still love. Everyone talks about the Nintendo Wii as if it was like made yesterday, but that thing came out in 2006, brother. Like that's 20 years old. There are people that are almost about to drink that were born on the same day as the Wii. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's this nature of like, oh, this thing is like still really popular, even though it's like basically retro. Like, you know, like this, I want to explore that topic a lot. Like, how exactly, I don't know, time will tell, but I really want to like, it's a solid idea for sure.
Mm-hmm. All right. I won't spoil anything else, but if you want ideas, I'll shoot some your way if you want.
Sure.
All right. I think it was Dom that talked about COVID earlier, because I think Lysandra came a little bit after it, but I guess for music and also family and personal wise, how bad was COVID for you guys on all three of those levels?
So I think personal and mental health wise, I think was probably the worst part of it. Just like anyone else, it was like hard to just be alone all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But music wise, it kind of catapulted us into collaborating more. So I mean, in terms of this band, it was like it gave us all this time to work on stuff, because I was doing school, and then I would just finish my day, and then can't do anything else but work on music. And so that's what I did. And I wrote a lot of like the core ideas that became the songs on the album during that time. Weirdly, not the EP, which came before. It's kind of odd. Like a lot of the songs on the album are older than the songs on the EP, which is older than the album. Because the EP was like weirdly a little bit more like starting fresh. We didn't know what we were going to record when we started recording it. We didn't know how many songs we wanted to do, if it wanted to be an album. The album thing seemed kind of daunting. So for one reason or another, we kind of just like started fresh on that, and then did those 3 songs. And then a lot of the idea. I wouldn't say like the full songs, because the full album is way more collaborative, like with all the band members, than it was like when we first started, and it was like just me sending him stuff.
Yeah, even with 906, we definitely had a lot more time to cook with it than like we had the skeleton, we had the proof of concept, and like having more eyes and ears on everything about it made it so much more of a song than it already was.
Yeah, I had a whole album worth of ideas during that I wrote instrumentals for during COVID that was just like basically ready to go. I didn't do much with it, but some of those ideas we're actually currently working on for future stuff, and we're like changing it a little bit and fine-tuning it. And I think we're all I'm certainly better at, I don't know, writing and just more creative than I was then. I'm definitely better at not getting in the way of vocals, which was not a concern of mine at first. Like he would make me cut parts or change things around because there wasn't room for vocals, and I was way less willing to do it then than I am now. Now that I've seen him, like I've seen it work, and I see his vision way more clear, way more easily now. I'm more willing to do it.
Yeah, sometimes you forget to give a song like room to breathe in it, whether or not it's with the vocals or not. Like, it can be easy to just like put all of your favorite ideas into a song and call it a day. But there is an art to lending it, like giving it like some space to actually grow and possibly like have, you know, whether it's vocals or, hey, like there's actually like a part for a solo that could work really well here. You know, if you lock yourself in too deep into like whatever your existing idea is, it can definitely be daunting to want to change anything about it. But sometimes those changes are the best decisions you can make.
Yeah, but to go back to the original question, like with COVID, when I think of that time, that was kind of like, in terms of us and Connor was like, that was around the time Connor was jumped on board. When I think back on it, I think of like us being like, oh, this could be really fun. That like this can be cool. Let's like, we don't have shit else to do, so let's work on this.
That's basically the gist of it. Yeah, COVID was like, we may not have like been a thing, like at least like in the sense that like we know now, but we definitely had the time and energy to put into this thing that we wanted to make happen. And in a way, it really helped us, especially during a time when it was like very stressful for everyone and everything. Like you're worried about even just going outside, let alone trying to make the most of every single day. Like just going through the motions and making things that excite you and have fun. Like, you know, like it can be bleak. And during that time, having a creative outlet was super helpful.
That's good. And were you and your families okay?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It all worked out well, thankfully.
Right. That's good to hear. So you say you boys are doing well out there too. So good to have you along here for the ride.
I like to think I am, yeah.
They somehow we made it this far. So
Right, exactly.
That's the number one question. How the hell did I get this far in my life, to be honest? So I guess what venues have you guys played live yet, first off?
Absolutely. Yeah. Most venues in Pittsburgh, I want to say.
Yeah, I mean, small, medium size. Our first show was in Morgantown at 123 Pleasant Street.
Which is very strange that like our first show ever was in a complete different state. But
yeah, I don't know. I don't remember how that happened. But we've played in all around Pittsburgh.
Have we played the Moose?
We haven't. No.
Okay, so not the Moose, but we've played Smalls plenty of times.
Mm-hmm.
We've played Preserving Underground, both upstairs and downstairs, which I'm stoked about.
I love playing there.
Yeah, we play Mr. Roboto pretty often.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool DIY venue.
Roxy?
Very chill vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you could probably come up with more. Ormsby. Ormsby. Yeah. Played there, and I played the Rex in my other band at one point. But yeah, I would love to have been able to do that with this group.
Rip.
Yeah.
Guess not the Roxy or Stage AE yet, or are they a bit too demanding?
Not the Roxy,
Yeah.
not Stage AE. Fingers crossed. I would love to open up for someone or something. Like I think going upstairs at Preserving was like our first like.
Yeah.
Oh shit! People are taking our instruments for us. This is wild. Like
that was Rivers of Nile.
That's right. Yeah.
Which they were so cool. One of the other shows we did at Preserving, we opened for I Set My Friends on Fire.
That was a great show.
Which was so cool. That's a band from my childhood that I listened to. That was awesome.
Actually, it's funny you mentioned Rivers of Nile. And sorry to go back to Iron Giant, but did someone actually play saxophone on that song?
Yes. Rivers did influence the idea to put saxophone, not necessarily like single-handedly. It was actually my idea originally to even include saxophone in the first place. But I knew I wanted to put it in a song as long as it made sense to have it in there. And Dom had worked and found, you're probably better off telling the story about that, but yeah, he was the one that ended up finding people to work with.
Yeah, Alan Romero, aka Kako, is the sax player. We initially asked
Their brother.
yeah, Feral Cat in the Wild, who we've played shows with. Really cool instrumental saxophone fronted progressive metal band, which is super cool. But yeah, the saxophone, I mean, they sent us like 2 takes and it was so good. Like they just ripped. Like we gave them like just notes and we're like, take your time. It's like, you know, it's not super important. Like do what you can. And then it was like the next day they sent us stuff back and it was like, okay, this is going in the song. This is incredible.
The most important thing we tried to mention was, hey, we want you to have creative influence over what you're doing. Like you are the expert on this subject. Like we have ideas of what we want to do at certain parts of the song, but like there were chunks where we were just like, I want you to just play. Like I want you to like do what you think feels right. And that was fundamental in helping like shape this song into what it is now, because we not only had our thoughts on the project, we had another person coming in to give their vision. And it was really, really gratifying to hear the reaction to it, especially from Alan. It was a very exciting time. And I am so glad that it worked out, because it very well could have felt tacked on and like pointless.
Yeah, I think
like
at any point, if it felt phoned in or just kind of like pasted on, it was definitely going to get cut. But like Addy really made a point that he wanted it to feel like a feature and a inherent part of the song that you couldn't do without, rather than being a layer. So which is, I think, like the stuff that they sent to us definitely feels like, I can't imagine the song without it now.
Yeah, it's a very cool addition, but it wouldn't be the same without it, without a doubt.
You know, initially at first, I think people, especially nowadays, since I know you mentioned about AI these days, kind of taking over. So I'll get to that in just a second. But first off, go back to the previous question with the music scene post-COVID and all the shows you have played, Morgantown and in around Pittsburgh. Have you noticed a nice bit of resurgence in the metal community?
In the metal, it's hard to say. I would say just like in the DIY, whether it's metal or not is big right now in Pittsburgh.
I think Pittsburgh really likes hardcore right now, like in this moment of time, which we definitely have hardcore influence. Like we've listened to our fair share of it. We've played with a few hardcore bands as well. Yeah. And the nature of it really lends itself well to our sound. So I guess in a way, like metal is growing, like aggressive music and like music that will encourage you to elbow people in the face. Like I'm guilty of being like, hey, I want to see you guys get rowdy. I want to see you guys like you're here, right now. I want to see you like get fucking moving already. Like, like
I'll take the banana peel.
This is your last chance. Like,
oh god,
my favorite thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like it's definitely still there. Like the metal presence is there. It's a lot of newer artists that are coming through and making themselves like try to work, which we obviously relate to very, very much so. So we're happy to deliver on our experiments and influences, and we are more than happy to share the stage with a bunch of these bands.
That's good to hear. You know, it was probably the wrong idea bringing Attack the Guy in the banana suit. That whole deal with the band and all that.
Yeah. I do know what you're talking about, though. It's like, oh, this guy wants attention. Yeah. All right. Hey.
I don't want no pussy shit. Get that pit moving there, people. So, yeah.
Come on, let's kill this guy.
All right. Don't do that. We want to be respectful.
You're supposed to target the Pikachu guy in the Pikachu outfit.
I don't remember the Pikachu one, though. I was trying to remember who else, because I know they've done a couple other ones. It's always funny with the Monomorph ones where they're doing the row.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's your classic Scandinavians going crazy right there. So, all right. That's good to hear about the music scene. So, okay, now we can touch on AI and even social media in this case. So it sounds like we got a little bit of a rant going on here too. So
we got beef. Yeah.
Good.
So
what do you
It
mean?
all started when I went into AI and said, generate me a saxophone right now. No, I said, I will never fucking use this shit ever in my life. Like,
I know it. I knew it. I knew that saxophone was fake. So anyway,
I briefly touched on how Eat Shit Robots is a sort of call out, I guess you could say, on the nature of social media. It has a little bit to do with the addictive nature of it, and another part to do with the privacy of it, which, even though it's not inherently tied with like generative AI specifically, it's still algorithms and it's still corporations pushing things in your face when they shouldn't be. And especially for people that are more vulnerable to those sorts of things, especially with people like more and more people coming out with cases of like ADHD or OCD or these things that cripple them to the point of like they don't feel right without these social media platforms. You have this vulnerable audience that you can target with all of these ads, and they can encourage you to waste money when you don't need to. And God forbid you get a gambling ad because your life is over if you're not careful. Like, there's all of these influences that are just constantly being shoved in your face. And on top of that, just to boot, they're stealing all the information that you thought was safe anyways. So a lot of that just is it like that song is a culmination of like my thoughts on that. And the like specifically the lines in the song that are like private thoughts monetizing, that is what it is. You're taking a personal journey of a person's life that they're documenting on, like, let's say Instagram or something, and using that as information to feed into the machine and make it fucking terrible like for the person. So and I think it goes without saying, but yeah, generative AI is useless. It like AI in general has its moments. Like, there are useful resources for these things, but once you tell the robot to do everything for you, you're losing the point. Like, it's meant to be a tool, and I actually have no qualms with being used in a way to assist people to make the thing that they want to make, but making it do the whole process for you just does not make sense. Like, you're not getting anywhere, you're not learning, you're not building upon yourself, you're not getting anywhere that is meaningful by using AI in that capacity. Like, it's just, I don't know. If you need to learn how to translate ancient Scandinavian, like, you ask AI, like, it might not be like the most accurate, but as long as you're still writing the song and you're like going in the studio and recording it and making it, like, sure, bud, like, as long as it fulfills like your creative endeavor, then like, great. But if you wanted to write a whole Scandinavian song for you, like, just get the fuck out. I don't want to talk to you. Like, that's my crux of it.
I would say I'm guilty of using it for my thumbnails on my drum cover channel. So
it is what it is. You know, there are certain things that, like, if you can do it yourself, then by all means. But like, I don't know. Like, do you have anything to add on that?
Well,
like,
I mean, I think the song that we wrote, I think, is more geared towards the addictive algorithms, which is usually more what I'm cognizant of and more like angry about, I guess.
yeah, it definitely has to do with that for sure.
Yeah, that's like, I kind of get like paranoid about whenever I have a thought in my head and I'm like, for example, like, oh, I haven't had a I don't know, a Heineken beer in so long, and I don't say it to anyone, and there's nothing happens other than me thinking it, and then the next minute I'm on Instagram and I have an ad for Heineken beer. It's like, yeah, like I get super paranoid about that kind of stuff. But like, I don't know, it's just like how accurate the prediction of the predictive nature and the addictive nature of Instagram. And it's not to say that like social media is all bad, because it is clearly not all bad. Like I've discovered so many and connected with so many amazing like bands and artists because of social media. So it's like,
it's bittersweet because it's the tool that we need in order to grow. Like we understand its value and we understand its importance, but we can also use it and recognize its flaws too. And I think it's important to look at that for everything that you use, truthfully, because if you just dump all of your hope and faith and everything into what is ultimately has a very high potential of being harmful, then you know you're just kind of digging yourself into your own grave. To go back on a little bit about like what you were saying, like you said with your thumbnails, like you're using generative stuff. The thing is like at that point you're using it as a tool, which like I get it, because you're still making videos, you're still calling the people, setting up interviews, getting things going, you're still making content. Like that's great. But you know, like when the whole process is taken over, then that's the problematic part. Like that's where I think is like, ooh, like, you know, but yeah, ultimately, like with EJ robots, that is like the preying nature of the industry that like we tend to focus on.
Not for the podcast interviews. I do those ones by hand, so, or by computer,
Right here.
you should say. So, but just strictly drum covers because it's just easier that way, and at least it has a nice aesthetics because that's a Halloween one's coming up. So we threw in some nice little references for some of them.
Oh, nice.
Seriously, with the nature of YouTube in general, I mean, it's sometimes it really does become about quantity. Like there's an essence of quality in everything that like a person makes. But sometimes it's just like, shit, I need this thing out like now. Like I need to make a thing. Like, you know, it has its use cases for sure.
I guess so, but nonetheless, tread carefully, good soldiers. So we got one more question before we jump into some extra fun ones, but this one is the fun topic of gear. So I think Addy probably has it easy, but nonetheless, feel free to share with you guys.
I carry so much into the booth with me, you know, it's real tough.
He has this really big like Yeti, like for your tea. Giant ass.
Yeah, like my water bottle is my heaviest equipment that I carry with me. When it's full of water, it's I know how you guys feel like with your amps and stuff. Yeah. Like that's rough.
Yeah.
Anyway, what do you guys got? I guess we want to share the other guys' gear that they have.
I'll let you take over on this part.
I can't really speak for Charlie because I don't really know much about drum equipment. I know that it sounds good.
He's very, very particular about his stuff.
Yeah,
too.
He knows his stuff.
He's thankfully like he's really, really good at what he does.
For me, I use well, I guess I could say I record Addy at home. Like I think I'm the only person that's ever recorded you vocally. Like we've been recording together for so long, it's like second nature to us. Like we just, you know, anytime he has a project, he's like, oh, I'll just have Dom record me.
In terms of like a professional environment, yeah I'd say so. Like I've definitely recorded with like other friends before. Yeah. But yeah, you definitely know your stuff.
Yeah, so he just goes through my vocal chain that I have set up specifically for his voice.
With what kind of mic?
At SM7B usually. Usually I find that I don't need as much of a hi-fi mic for his voice because it's so obviously abrasive, purposefully abrasive. So like I don't need a like a super hi-fi condenser mic to pick up all the high end that I'm just gonna cut later. So something that has a nice like mid-range, kind of still pretty balanced in general, but yeah, like there's really not that much going on the vocal chain of his voice in the recordings because there's so much natural distortion. But I'll put some like saturation, obviously, and like compress it and EQ it and stuff. But it's like it's pretty raw, I think, for the most part. Except for the obvious things where there's an effect or whatever. But yeah, that's kind of it. But I guess for me, I use for guitar. We usually either play in drop C or drop A on a 7-string, or E standard. Sometimes I like Balaguer, I like Kiesel, I like PRS. I play usually through a pretty standard Marshall amp that I drive pretty hard with genty sounding signal chain. I have like I used to do like the EVH pedal, which is like the best overdrive pedal ever made, I think, the EVH 5150, because it literally sounds exactly like the 5150 amp. But then you can turn it off and then you have a nice clean sound. But I got the kind of the Boss version of like a quad Cortex, and that's what I use for live most of the time, because I do have like quite a few more effects that I want to use than just like the distortion. So that's nice. I think most of Connor's sound is coming from like the Dark Glass overdrive for bass. Right now, the way Mitch is set up, he has a Helix, and we kind of are doing this pretty much the same thing. But his amp is I forget the name of the company, but it's like the signature model for the guitarist for the band Thank You Scientist. It's a really cool amp. Really cool band too. Yeah, I think that it's pretty basic. Like there's nothing crazy. I think the crux of it is that like we always have amps on stage. I don't know if I'm imposing my opinion on everyone else, but like I think that it's nice to have like the modern technology of like easy switching and stuff, but I do like the 3-dimensional aspect of having stage volume as well as having it come through the PA and stuff. I like the sound of Marshalls, especially whenever you're kind of doing things with them that they're not like meant to do, like more than just like a hard rock tone. Yeah, and then for recording, it's the same thing. I'll either mic up the cab just at my house, or I'll record the Marshall into a load box and then use like cab sims, stuff like that. That's pretty much it. It's not overly complicated. I hate getting overly complicated with gear.
We also don't use backing tracks live.
Yeah.
Whether or not you want to like consider it as like a personal choice, like artistic choice, it's a little bit of both. Like we're not against using them, but we also feel like our sound stands well enough without them.
Yeah, I like the challenge. I think we like the challenge of like seeing how much we can do without them. Right now, that'll probably change soon. Like we are pretty ambitious with the amount of tracks in our songs sometimes, so it might change. That's just where we're at right now, though. I think we like to just like set up, not have to deal with any technical issues, throw down, and just have fun, and then like get the hell out of there. It's kind of nice.
That is the best part, is being able to get up on stage and just
not rely on anything right now.
Yeah, and like I'm gonna invest in some in-ear monitors, just like mostly like for getting the experience out of using it, and a big part of also like just for the hell of it, like, hey, like if we're gonna like go down this route, I might as well have some, so at the moment though, we just don't use any because like like I said,
I don't think none of us use in-ears right now. We just use wedges, which is it's just the way I've always done it, like in my other bands and stuff. I'm not against in-ears. I just haven't done it yet.
That's exactly how I feel. Yeah.
There's just a whole like
I haven't got to that point yet. So
installation process that I don't want to deal.
He's harkening back to his like being the sound guy days. Like.
Yeah. Every time I get a new piece of gear, it's a whole like I'm so lazy with learning the ins and outs of gear. Like I kind of just get stuck doing things because I don't want to do something new. I have to at some point, but man, I hate learning shit.
Got to give that Windows upgrade if we wanted to say it that way.
I literally updated my computer right before this. Like, yeah, it just happens all the time.
All right, that's all cool there too.
I
you guys,
the one other thing I should mention, I record everything on Logic, because I'm a Mac user. I'm a Windows noob. I don't know anything. But yeah, go Logic. It's cool.
Yeah. Suck it. So yeah, I use Logic too, so that's all good there too.
Nice.
So Mac as well. So, but this one's going to get upgraded at some point. I know my dad had to get an upgrade to his Mac as well. So, all right. Do you guys have some time for some fun questions real quick?
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. So in case there's a particular dish that side of Pittsburgh I've not heard about yet, but what would you say is currently your favorite food?
Dom loves peanut butter.
That's a sensitive topic.
I like it anywhere.
But in all seriousness, peanut butter would have been my answer probably 2 years ago. I could eat a jar of peanut butter, just like sit down and eat it and be the happiest person in the world. I developed a peanut intolerance, not an allergy, an intolerance. So I don't have an allergic reaction if I eat peanuts, but I get really sick when I eat peanuts. Like,
yeah.
I'll like if I eat a couple spoonfuls of peanut butter, I'll be throwing up the rest of the day. It is just such a bitter part of my life.
So I think it's fair to say my answer for myself is peanut butter. I love peanut butter. But if we're talking like food, like as like a meal, I think burgers. I love burgers.
It's true. I think I have to think of like what is a food that I could eat for every meal every day and not just literally never get tired of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the really honest answer is ice cream. I think like summer, winter, it doesn't matter. I think I could eat ice cream all the time, and I would never get tired of it.
You are real fit for what you eat.
I'm not saying I do that. Well, I eat a lot of ice cream.
Dude, if I could have a burger every day and like not feel like total ass cheeks, then I certainly probably would. Yeah. But I don't recommend it.
I would also say like, if we're talking like a real meal that isn't ice cream, like sesame chicken, so good.
Specifically
sesame chicken, better than all the other generic
General Tso's.
Yeah, it's a little bit more. There's a little more to it.
Better than pad thai.
Better than pad thai. Well, I can't eat pad thai.
Oh yeah, with the peanuts.
Yeah.
Or Szechuan chicken. That'll do. That's what I was supposed to know.
The sesame chicken. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Maybe it's a placebo thing. Maybe there's nothing different about it. It's just so good to me.
Maybe.
I guess. But all good choices there nonetheless.
Yeah.
You like that we turned that into like a 15-minute conversation.
We take food very
about
seriously.
15 minutes. So I don't know about 15 minutes, but it was definitely a lot longer than it should have been. So, but anyway.
Yeah, well,
Hey. I guess maybe this won't be our talking point right here, but I guess in terms of movies and TV shows,
mhm.
you got a favorite between the two?
So we briefly touched on there's like that short that we used for like inspiration to the song Mirror. Arrival is still honestly one of my favorite movies, just in general. As kind of like a low-key linguistics nerd, I really like the concept of like deciphering an alien language, and I think that's like probably one of the coolest things you could do as a like scientist. And just like I feel like it treats the whole concept like relatively realistically, especially with like the state of the world that it's in. But yeah, like in terms of like movies that I could like honestly recommend is like, yeah, Arrival is like probably one of my favorites for sure.
I would say it's hard to pick a favorite movie, even though I did think about this. A couple that come to mind right away are The Dark Knight. I love Christopher Nolan, and Pan's Labyrinth. I love that movie. Shows, there's too many. There's too many shows to name.
I watch a lot of anime, so I'm probably the wrong person to ask, but that is a subject that like there's so many different genres that like you can absorb like with specifically anime that it's like, yeah. And anime movies too. There's some great movies out there as well. Everyone loves to talk about the Ghibli movies. I think out of the Ghibli movies, Princess Mononoke is my favorite. That's probably the one that I would recommend.
I guess Black Mirror would be my favorite show, now that I'm thinking about it.
There you go.
I was a little bit of an anime nerd back in the day there too. I know a friend of mine was kind of showing me Vinland Saga. That sort of stuff I go into. Never finished season 1, but I think it was getting whole thing with Oxalot getting ready to go and reclaim his throne or whatever it was, homeland, whatever.
Yeah.
Estate. We should say estate because really I don't think it was that big to be honest, but
I got
something
you.
like that.
I got
Still,
you.
It was great for a while there too.
I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm just gonna throw it out there. Top 3 anime that you should watch. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. It's a tale of 2 brothers that are trying to figure out the mysteries of this world that they live in, along with trying to get their lives back together. Number 2, One Punch Man. One of the funniest shows that I've watched in terms of like not taking itself seriously. Like the main character is like so nonchalant and everyone else around him is like Dragon Ball level, like power scaling, like they're so full of themselves. And 3, honestly, probably like those 2 for sure. But the 3rd one is like my like personal favorite that I always tell everyone is Kill la Kill. It's from like 2013, I believe. And it's the story of a girl going through a school, college sort of thing, like environment that like you're trying to find out the mystery of her family and her past. And it's very empowering. It's very empowering to the person and being comfortable in your own skin and your own clothes. And yeah, I think that's pretty relatable, honestly.
It's funny you mentioned about One Punch Man because I think I saw it was a little reel on Facebook. It showed him going right for the nuts with like a punch. And
yeah,
the guy,
it does happen. It does happen.
He backs away, but it was like, oh man, I felt that, but it could have been a lot worse. So
I think the guy actually falls onto his fist, like his nuts fall onto him, and he's still writhing in pain. Like it's a really funny show, but also really good action scenes.
I thought he ended up starting to struggle in the later seasons. I thought that's why people started not liking season 3 or something.
So we don't talk about season 3 here. That's it's a glorified PowerPoint presentation, unfortunately, but still a great manga. But we'll leave it at that.
All right. I'd say mine was more Bleach, a little bit of Naruto, and then I remember seeing DBZ a good bit back in the day when it was Toonami and all that stuff.
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
So yeah,
good stuff.
all right, all great choices. Not sure if you guys drink, but if you do you have a favorite alcoholic drink? And then what's your favorite non-alcoholic drink?
I'll tell you right away. Dr. Pepper is my favorite non-alcoholic drink. I don't really know why. I wish I could tell you the subtleties. It's just good.
It's the 23 flavors.
It's just good, man. All those flavors, whatever they are, they're delicious. It's like almost like cherry, but not really. And it's not quite cola either. I don't know. Solid. In terms of alcohol, though, I much prefer like harder liquor, like whiskeys. If I have to pick one, I would pick an Irish whiskey over most.
I don't have a good answer. I guess I like a lager.
Yeah, he's much more of a beer guy than me.
Yeah, he has gotten me into whiskey though. I've tried some really good ones. I can't like the best whiskeys I've ever had. I could not tell you the name of because it's just something that he's given me.
I guess like, do you lean more bourbon? Probably.
Yeah, probably more bourbon.
Yeah.
But I like a lager. Basically just like any brewery. I don't have a specific like beer brand in mind, but there's like a lot of breweries around where I live that they always have a good lager. So non-alcoholic drink. Does a root beer float count as a drink? Because that would absolutely be it.
I would count it.
Because oh man, I could have a root beer float every night.
I could literally have one right now.
I have phases.
The more you're talking about it,
I have phases where I do have a root beer float every night for a week or so.
Bro is like maxing out on ice cream and now root beer floats. Like he is like ready to go as long as it involves those.
Yes.
All right, those are great choices. And for the last of the fun questions, who you been listening to recently, regardless if they're independent or mainstream?
So in terms of, I'll give you a couple. So there are 3 Pittsburgh bands that I love so much. I can't even describe how much I love them. First one being King Blue Heron. They just released an EP yesterday. It's not metal at all. It's very shoegazy. Heading North I'm always listening to Heading North. I did some production work with them. And they're more pop punk, even though I don't typically listen to a whole lot of pop punk, but they're a little bit more depthy than most pop punk. And then there's this, I guess you would call them like mathcore or hardcore band in Pittsburgh called Kicked in the Head by a Horse. I love them so much. They're so badass.
Cool guys.
They're just so cool. Just the stuff they're putting out is just always cool. In terms of just like stuff that I've been playing recently, a lot of Darko. I've been listening more heavier like deathcore type stuff recently. So Darko is a big one. Chelsea Grin, which is the flip side of that coin. Lowe's new album is so good.
I still need to check that out.
Yeah. So those are the big ones for me right now.
So about my favorite stuff, I was actually looking, like breezing through my Spotify just to get an idea of like what it is, because I mentioned earlier I listen to a lot of different stuff, and I don't know if it's because I just got back from the anime convention not too long ago, but a lot of different like anime influenced things. I like a lot of songs featuring Kasane Tetsu. Specifically, there's an artist called Tokyo Manaka who has made songs such as Brain Rot. That is very, very good. You can honestly convince me it was a Billboard top 50 song if I wasn't paying attention. There's also bands like, in terms of metal, I've been getting back into Bring Me the Horizon as well. Especially because they released their Count Your Blessings, like just again, like which is like, what the hell? Like like bands don't really do that usually, especially when it's like such a hard shift in genres. That has been pretty interesting, and a lot of different like video game soundtracks as well. Most notably, I like to listen to. I mentioned I like electronic music a lot. Zenless Zone Zero soundtrack has a lot of influence from like some of my favorite artists, like Skrillex. Skrillex's latest album is one of my favorite albums of all time now. Like it's so ridiculously good, especially if you like have any sort of inclination to like the production of electronic music. Like it just makes you wonder like how the hell he does it. But I want to say, yeah, Skrillex, Porter Robinson as well. That's something that we both have in common.
Yeah,
We both
I'm
really
pretty
like
much
Porter.
always listening to Porter Robinson. Porter Robinson is like right up there with like Avenged Sevenfold and Periphery and In Flames, but like also put Porter Robinson in the
which
mix
is so crazy. Like because we back in the day we actually did a cover of a Porter Robinson song, and that also like was more fuel to the fire of what Lysandra is now. Like we just like had another creative outlet there, and lo and behold, like it just like led to more and more like greater things. And besides that, I mean, Periphery's latest album is very good. Along with, I just had it. Oh yeah, Lorna Shore as well. Lorna Shore has been killing it lately, and I hope they keep doing that because the shit's tight.
Mm-hmm.
You do have Lorna Shore coming back with Motionless in White. I think
That's
they would be
right.
playing BBG Paints. That they got the arena now. So
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Like, it's hard to believe.
It's crazy. Yeah, the two metal bands that have like kind of have one foot in the mainstream right now are Knocked Loose and Lorna Shore.
Yeah,
That is such a head scratcher.
Knocked Loose,
But it, like I love it. I'm all for it.
Knocked Loose playing Jimmy Kimmel is like never ever appearing on my bingo card ever. But like here we are. There's a lot of people that say, "Oh, it should have been a different hardcore band, like to represent the genre." I'm like, dude, like it's a miracle that it even happened at all. Like, like that's generally how I feel about that. But yeah, those guys are great.
We just got to get Lorna Shore on Kimmel.
Yeah, maybe someday.
Maybe Colbert. I don't know.
Look out all those naughty words, and maybe you'll get on there, bud.
actually, who brought Slipknot on? I think a couple times. Was that?
That was probably.
Brian.
Conan. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
maybe.
think I've seen that clip.
Yeah,
It's interesting,
that was always
but-
a cool moment to see.
But at least puts them on the map. So you
Yeah.
get thumbs up and congratulations to their boys. So,
Yeah.
All right. So, boys, we're down to one more question in my podcast. But before we jump into it, would you guys like to ask me one question apiece, real quick?
You? Actually, I have a question.
Sure.
What are, if you had to give me like top 3 favorite bands or artists?
I gave you more of a top 5 because it's not exactly in a particular order here too. But Dying Fetus was actually my first introduction to death metal. So
That's cool.
But at the same time, Misery Index is also kind of in there too because they kind of share that similar punk metal sort of influence going on there. So those ones I'd say are more my therapy ones. But the ones I listen to on long travels, whether it's by plane or car, it's either Between the Buried to Be or Nile.
Yeah.
That is all really solid picks.
Approved.
Yeah, no complaints there. And I guess my question is, out of the songs that you did listen to for Lysandra, which one did you feel like you, I guess, liked the most? Like, which one did you vibe with?
Let's do a couple before I hop in on here too. But from what I gathered, Iron Giant was an interesting one until he told me what the lyrics were about. So I was like, oh man, now I feel bad.
But that's good though.
It's depressing.
It's supposed to make you feel something no matter what. So
Actually, it's when you were discussing it on this interview. I was like, oh shit. That's what it is. So, but I love the fact you threw in the saxophone there too, because it was different. So I remember, oh wait, that's Rivers of Nile sort of influence going on
absolutely.
right there too.
Absolutely.
So I was like, okay, they got that progressive element. This is actually a good direction these boys are going with. So
Well, thank you.
I'll say Iron Giant, and then Edward Scissor Balls was an interesting one with the solo that kind of happened there.
Gotcha.
Was that you, Dom, or was that Mitch?
Yeah, that solo is the first half is me, and then the second half was Jacob. Unfortunately, I have to play the whole thing now when we play it live.
And he loves he loves learning.
You make it sound like it's bad.
It's just hard.
It's yeah. I can only imagine.
Whenever you have to learn stuff that someone who's superior at their instrument writes, it's not.
I feel like just learning solos in general is like tough because like when you write it, it's like one thing, but like, you know, when you have to, you know, get the motions down of like someone else who like that comes to them naturally, like that's what they came up with, and then you're trying to do the same shit. It's like, yeah, I can only imagine.
Yeah, the kind of like movements and shapes that you gravitate towards and are natural to you are different for every guitarist. So it's like,
yeah,
he wrote something that feels natural to him, but then I learned it and I was like, what are you doing? Like this, you shouldn't have done that. It sounds cool, and I don't want to play it.
I don't really know much about it. I just play Guitar Hero. Like that's I got really good at Guitar Hero, and that was I literally have a guitar sitting right here. That is what I do. So there you go.
He's got a lot of free time on his hands.
Oh, I wish I did. I just use too much of it for video games.
I guess so. All right. Was there anything else before we jump into the last one?
I don't think so.
Do you play anything other than drums?
Nah, it was strictly drums, but I did used to do cello way back in the day.
That's cool.
Nice.
I would like to pick up bass because I at least know some of it in standard tuning.
Yeah.
But I just don't have the time for one thing. And
yeah. Well, I
guess
know
people are struggling with bass players, so yeah.
Yeah, coming from drums, like drums and bass are, you know, the quote unquote rhythm section. So it's like you're in the ballpark being a drummer.
I'm keeping you in time there, jackass. That's what I say.
Coming from cello, I mean, it's like just a big fucking bass as far as I can tell, right? Like
it's a short version of the bass. You're still sitting down, thankfully, but
right, yeah.
The neck was more so like right here, and then you would just kind of move a little up and down. But most of the time, it was like close to about right here, where most of your notes were.
Mm.
So you could move up if you wanted to play other notes, if you just wanted to make it easy, so you could stay on one string. But very rarely, and even throughout high school, we rarely went up far up the bridge, to be honest, as we would say.
Yeah.
So I still have some recollection, but the cello's been long gone. I have not touched it since college, or since high school, I should say.
Yeah.
Still good skill to have, like even if it led to other things, genuinely.
Well, funny enough, it was Rock Band that got me into the drums. So
yeah, man, that's what I'm talking about. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
See, video games were good for something.
They are good for you.
I was doing a good thing with light up the Russians when I was playing Call of Duty and all that sort of stuff. So I was a good boy. So, all right. But anything else? Or is it okay we jump into the last question?
Yeah, let's get the last question.
Let's do it. Yeah.
All right. So whoever wants to go first, here's how I word it. So given the amount of negativity that you haven't seen going on in the world these days, whether through social media or even word of mouth for that matter, or even on the news, these days, people need some sort of hope. So what would be your message of hope for people who are struggling out there, as you mentioned earlier, Addy, with mental health and all that sort of stuff? What would be your message of hope for those people and for musicians so they can move forward with their lives?
Sure. I mean, for musicians specifically, I want to say you might get really overwhelmed by, especially in the age of social media, seeing how many people are out there like putting out their stuff and trying to make it in this world, like especially with platforms like Spotify promoting not real artists, like just like random, like they're promoting like things that they're making like internally with AI. It can feel really intimidating to want to even like jump, like put a foot in the door, like with that sort of thing. But like, you honestly should still try to make the most of it, because some of the most fulfilling experiences you can have, like even if you don't really like necessarily go somewhere, like if you want to be famous or whatever your motivations might be, you could honestly never predict some of the things that you will experience just from doing what you feel is like enjoyable and exciting and helpful for you. Like, there are so many moments that I could not have done, like even like very recently, like that I would have been able to do like without like some kind of like musical prowess, like whether that's with connections, whether that's like through just like learning abilities and things like that. It opens up so many doors and conversations that you honestly could not fathom just sitting there and like thinking about what if you never had gone down that route. So like, bottom line, like if you have an idea, just go for it. Get some friends together, make it happen. If you don't have friends, go places, go talk to as many people as you can, because there's only so much out there that you truthfully understand. Like, you won't know the world until you actually go experience it.
Yeah, I think what I would say is just the things that I always have to remind myself, which are: one, don't take yourself too seriously. And two, it's okay to create something that's just for you. I mean, it's kind of simple, but at the end of the day, the numbers that you see on like your, I don't know, listens or whatever, followers, it's cool, but also I'm happy and proud of the things that we created, because those are, in my mind, they're for me, you know, and that makes me happy. And I think like there is, you know, something to that everyone can realize, and it's like it's not music for everyone. For some people it's just an activity, you know, just something to work on, you know. It can be just for you.
Yeah, that's actually something that I had learned relatively recently, was being comfortable with the idea of just like making things for the sake of making things. There's truly like a certain, like, I don't know if you want to call it like an art, but like it can be like so gratifying to just like make stuff that makes you happy. And whether or not it goes and gets published at all, like it doesn't even have to go on the internet. It doesn't even have to, it could just be something you share with your friends, with your family. And if you like it, and if everyone else vibes with it, then like it can feel so gratifying, even if it's on like such a small scale by comparison. So like, yeah, what you said is like, it's so important to just remember to do things for yourself sometimes. Like I only just learned that for myself recently, because I used to draw like back in the day as a kid, and like that was just something I did because I liked it, you know. Just if that's your vice, then do it. Like anything to add on that? I mean,
no, I don't think so. I think that's it.
Sure.
Don't take anything too seriously. That's the big one, I think.
That's fair. I will say a piece of advice for musicians, like not necessarily like a hopeful way, but more like a technique kind of way. In regards to live performance, this is the most important thing that I learned. Again, with like the knowledge that I like had garnered from like high school or whatever, that stuck with me. You are the only person on stage that knows what is supposed to happen. Like if you flub something, or you think that you are going to flub something, do not like take it upon yourself to like point out problems or like issues, or like if you're sick, don't mention that you're sick. If you're feeling just like unwell, like whatever the case, or you think you like, I don't know, unless it like will literally get in the way, like you like broke a string, like you know, just go through it. You are the only person on that stage that knows what is supposed to happen. So if you can roll with the punches, then that's just going to make yourself like seem that much more professional, I guess. Like you're going to impress people with your ability to adapt if it is that serious. Usually it's not. Like whatever you think is super serious is usually not. Just remember that you are there to put on a performance. They are there for your time. They want to be entertained. So the last thing you want to do is bring the mood down by saying like, I don't know, guys, like, yeah, this song kind of sucks. Oh, thanks for bearing with us. Like, that's not what they're there for. Just remember that you are there to do this, and whatever happens. But the most important thing is that you're there doing it, and you should enjoy it too. So, bam.
Boom.
Absolutely. Man, spoke like a true prodigy.
Yeah.
So,
thanks, man.
all right. Thank you so much for sharing the boys. It really does mean a lot. So,
Of course.
all right. So, Addy and Dom, we have reached the end of our podcast right here. We talked a little over an hour and 40 some minutes. But I guess before we close out, who do you want to give some shout outs to?
Our bandmates, Charlie, Connor, Mitch, they're badass. All our fellow bands in Pittsburgh. I mentioned some of them earlier, but my buddies in my other band, Moontown, and bands like Pitter Patter, who are just good vibes all day. Yeah, King Blue Heron, Heading North. We love them.
Shout outs to everyone that he said, and also my mom and dad, because you guys are very supportive and I appreciate it.
Oh, and my mom and dad, who now
No, not his mom and dad. Just mine. No.
they actively hated our band at first, and now they like it. They like metal now, if you can believe it.
At
It's
least,
like now he mentions it. Now he mentions it.
Yeah.
at least if it comes
What the
out
hell?
of our faces.
That's right. I have parents too. Oh god.
Yeah.
No, he's an alien specimen. Oh my god.
Right.
Oh jeez. All right. Nonetheless, that's good to hear. Represent mom and dad. Thanks so much.
Oh,
All right.
Absolutely.
And lastly, for the audience sake, what social media and streaming platforms are you guys on so they can check out your music and interact?
Oh yeah. It's just at Lysandra dot band.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
For Instagram. Also like Facebook. And then I think just every streaming service,
Yeah.
pretty much.
We're pretty much on all streaming
Yeah.
platforms. So just make sure that whenever you're looking for it, that you find like the name of our album. We're working on like getting rid of like the like weird results that come up. But yeah, if it says Birds Don't Sing Like They Used To, you see the keyhole picture, that way you know it's us. So you don't listen to it and you're like, what the hell is this? Like that's gonna be us.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lysandra.band. We're also technically, I guess, soft announcement. We're also on TikTok. So if you want to like preemptively follow on there too, like we're going to probably upload some of our stuff that we've been making for Instagram there, along with like less serious things like memes and stuff like that I've kind of like been sitting on. I feel like that would be kind of funny to just like have an outlet for that.
Just doing TikTok dances to our music.
Definitely not that in the pipeline at least, but you know,
Do the book with me. Do the book.
never say never. Yep. Let me hit a floss real quick over breakdown. That would be great.
All right, sounds good. So let me just close out like this real quick. So everyone, today my guests were Addy and Dom. They're part of the band Lysandra, fellow Pittsburghers as well here too. So make sure you hit all the socials, all streaming platforms. And I'm sorry I forgot to ask this earlier. I guess, are you guys playing any shows pretty soon yet or no?
Yeah, we have a couple. They're all on Instagram. I don't want to say the wrong dates, so because I totally will say the wrong dates. But we have a couple coming up.
And anything that will be coming after that is going to be on that social media. Like,
There's some that are being finalized right now that will be announced soon. Honestly, most of them are being finalized, so I can't even say with absolute certainty. But by the time someone sees this, it will probably be on our Instagram.
and if you have a band, yes, you have a band that wants to play with our band, please reach out. We'd be so happy to do like literally anything. Like at this point, like we just love playing music.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, feel free. Or if you want to see us open for someone, that too, let us know.
Actually, we start point would be like, no, you right there. You right there.
We want you.
You,
All right.
Jared, whoever you are,
They want to go see
Jared, you heard him, Jared.
get out there.
But otherwise, hearing from these guys here in terms of the shows. So, boys, thank you again so much again for coming on here. So, stay safe.
Thank you,
Rock on.
Brian. Seriously, had a great time.
Thank you so much.
And lastly, you guys strike a pose for the audience. Stay tuned, yo. Wait, 3 seconds. 3 seconds.